Hello, for this video I'm going to show you how to make the same bar chart as in the last video, but utilizing survey weights that are already in the dataset. It's important to use these weights so that our visualizations are a more accurate representation of the population of interest. So let's get started. I'll assume you've already imported your data, which is linked in the description below, but if you need help with the basics, including how to make this unweighted bar chart, take a look at the first video in this series, linked above. Today we're going to use this variable, age, which is age collapsed into groups, and weight, which is survey weights. Each row represents one observation or survey participant. So let's start by looking at our goals. We want a bar chart like this one, with counts and percentages, but weighted. Counts will stay the same as the unweighted version, but the percentages will change to be weighted percentages. A proportion is just the sum of relevant observations divided by the sum of all observations, and a weighted proportion is the sum of relevant observation weights divided by the sum of all observation weights. So let's start by creating a new measure for the sum of relevant observations. For a new measure, we'll click on our dataset name and new measure. Our first measure is the weighted frequency, and it's the sum of all the weights. Using this language called DAX, we can just use the sum function. Next, we'll make a measure for the sum of all observation weights. I'm calling this weighted total frequency. It's the same as the measure weighted frequency that we just created, but we need to make sure that drop-down menus that filter by things like state and year don't change this number. It needs to stay at 1000, which is how many observations we have. So we'll use the calculate function to add a condition or filter to weighted frequency, which is that all of the observations will be included in this measure all the time. The last measure we need to make is the weighted proportion measure. And this is weighted frequency divided by a weighted total frequency. So we'll use the divide function and list numerator first, which is the weighted frequency, and denominator second. Okay, now we can create a new plot from scratch with this clustered column chart option. But I'm going to save a little time and copy and paste this other bar chart instead to keep the formatting. I'll take out the percentage here and replace it with our weighted percentage. Now I don't have to redo the formatting that I already did for the first one. I'll change the title to indicate that this is weighted, though. And let's change this weighted proportion to weighted percentage. And we'll make sure that this is in the percentage format. So we'll click on our proportion variable and change that to percentage. Now looking at these side by side, the percentages are fairly close, but this one that's weighted is more useful for analysis purposes. My next video will be on categorical variables that are not mutually exclusive, meaning for one variable, a participant can check all answers that apply. Our variable will be based on the question, what music genres do you listen to at least once a week? Check all that apply. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments and suggestions. Thank you!